All right, so welcome now, guys. And we're today going to be doing a workshop. But yes, introduction to myself. I'm Steven, graphic designer, games art and design, artist. Kind of all right, medium average range of doing art. Hopefully, I can take you guys through kind of a little bit about character design and how we're actually going to be doing it. So it doesn't really matter what kind of skill level you are to do this. What I'm teaching you guys today is just basically the concepts and ideas of how you should take in kind of the approach to do character design. The good thing about what I'm doing now is that for you guys in first years, this is what you're going to be doing extensively and in depth with Daniel in third year. It is one of his classes. But basically think of today's kind of look into this as a light version of what Daniel's going to be doing in third year. And for those people who have any questions during the class, please put your hand up. And yeah, let's get this started. So today we're doing character design. No shock there. What is it? Really, the way that I see character design is it's not just pretty pictures. There's clearly a difference between character illustration and creating a character. Creating a character is what the first process is, and that's usually what concept artists do. They get a prompt being like, you need to create a character for an assassin world, or an isekai world, or a dreary, utopian, dystopian kind of world, whatever along those lines. And how the concept artists should look at it is it's a solving puzzle. It should create a character that fits whatever description it has and the context that it's in to be able to represent and show kind of a message towards your audience, or really whoever you're making it for. It could be your commission artist, it could be just the general target audience, it could be your followers on social Instagram or whatever. Just think of it that. A good character design doesn't mean it always looks pretty. It's just whatever captures the most essence of it. SpongeBob, for example, or like any characters from SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, they all have fantastic character designs and character concepts that you can easily remember things. And I'll get to the reasons why a little bit later. So as I'm showing here right now, it's just kind of the basic, really quick gist of kind of the process that I'll be taking you over. The only thing that I've probably skipped in here is the mood boarding phase. But I take you guys through basically just quick silhouettes, development, and then polish. Well, we're not going to be doing polish because essentially what polish is painting and kind of refining your character in a pose and an actual composition, which we probably don't have enough time to do today. Here's a little turnaround. After that, we'll get going on to next. So, as I was saying before, the process is really simple. I've broken it down into 4 major areas. First one is mood boarding, or really kind of the researching phase for your character. This is when you're writing up the story. This is trying to understand really what your character is going to be about. Next stage is the napkin sketches. Really quick, really quick sketches. Like these are some things that you're going to be doing 30 seconds per silhouette, per sketch. Or maybe a little bit more if you're a little bit new. It's something just to generally get the idea out and work with what character design elements you want to incorporate, shapes or colors. Actually, no, don't even use colors. It's all about shapes at this beginning phase and trying to get the essence out in the most simplest way. Because if you can get your message across really simply, it should work even in high detail. Next up is development, breaking apart from your silhouettes and just continuing to kind of see, oh, I kind of like this part here, but I like this other part from this other silhouette. And you're kind of combining and getting the idea across. You're mixing and matching to try and get the best results that you can from your research and your designs. And then, as finally I said, polish. Probably this might be a completely separate kind of workshop, mainly because in polish, you have to take in a lot of different things in consideration. How to do painting, how to do composition, lighting, textures, all that sort of stuff wrapped into one. And within this small little time frame for this workshop, I don't think I can teach you guys the whole theory of light or theory of color in that sort of time frame. Definitely takes a lot of practice and understanding to do that. And if you guys just keep practicing and working hard on that, you'll definitely reach that polish phase. So, before I basically get off into our activity, I said a little bit earlier about how basically the SpongeBob characters were really unique or iconic, or characters from any cartoons, from the Invincibles, all that sort of stuff. They have great character designs. Such an example in Aladdin, they all use shape language. And shape language is really simple to understand. Circles are friendly and soft and squishy. Triangles are usually an indicator of danger, something pointy and that sort of stuff. That's why they really work well for stop signs or give way signs. Squares and rectangles, they are resilient, stable, and solid. So if you're able to, later on, when you're drawing in Silhouette Sketch, try and figure out a way that you can kind of incorporate these kind of meaningful ideas of shape language into your designs. Is your character more stealthy, slim, that sort of stuff, right? Make sure you have constantly the idea of a bigger picture, because mostly or not, the bigger picture will go through than the details. More example here, most common stuff used like squares, circles, and that sort of stuff, or a mixture and combination of the both. So if you can kind of understand shape language and how to use that to your advantage, your character's just gonna be a lot more clearer to read to other people. Now, it's time to design. So at the beginning phase, we're gonna be doing a mood boarding phase. So I'm gonna stop. So now in this beginning phase, we're going to start working on creating your mood boards. And for those people working at home, you guys can go on the internet and make your own character generators. And this is just kind of giving you a base outline to work off on and kind of continue your work and that sort of stuff. But what I want you guys to do for your mood boards is that with your characters now in mind, I want you guys to use whatever kind of referencing tool you have, Pinterest, Google, just literally Google Images, and take 5 to 10 minutes just to collate any images that you want for this character. It's just like a reference board for you to be able to take inspiration from and use it later down the line as kind of a guideline for your character as it develops more and more. So what I like to do for mood boards, really quick tip, don't have 100 images on it. That kind of defeats the purpose of a mood board. Have at least a good shot between 10 to 15 really strong images to be able to kind of capture the essence and flow that you guys are working for towards the character. So now I'm just gonna let you guys go do your thing. For those people that are watching at home, please do just pause the video here. And yeah, we'll get started into doing the mood board. You guys have 10 minutes to do it, so time starts now. So now you've probably come back and found your inspiration and either propped it up next to you or have basically kept it into mind. So now the next phase that we're going into and working off on is to actually start drawing. Our next step in this process is napkin sketches. I'm basically the only one that says it, because the way that I like to see this type of drawing is that if you are in a meeting with a client and you don't really have any of your special drawing equipment, you literally just have a pen and napkin, you're there with your client and you're talking with them, your character ideas and all that sort of stuff. You need to draw on something. And so you're not gonna draw on the table. You can just take a napkin and just start drawing on it. And that's what napkin sketches are. And you should treat the stuff that you're gonna be putting onto your kind of tablets as that. These are gonna be 30 seconds to a minute long drawings. Because the essence of it is just to get the idea out. Really quick, messy, focuses on the bigger picture. Super cheap and affordable. Daniel told the story to me that when he was used to work as kind of a concept artist, he would draw literally hundreds to 200 different designs just in a day, because that's what you're expected to do. It's all about trying to ideate and trying to figure out really what is the best way to solve my problems. And your problems are kind of how to replicate the message of your character to your viewers. So in the next kind of few minutes I want to probably see around 3 to 6 different character silhouettes, maybe even more if you want to keep pushing it. You guys want to explore the ideas of your desired characters. And yeah, all about shape language. So you guys have, I'll set you guys 20 minutes basically to do it, 20 to 25 minutes, and just start focusing on doing just your silhouettes. No fancy brushes, big brushes. That's a good tip. Use only big brushes and create shapes. And now for those viewers now, you guys can just pause it here and come back later in 20 minutes and we'll resume it. So welcome back. Hopefully after your 20 minutes or how long you probably took to draw your characters, you guys have finally kind of gotten at least 3 to 6 silhouettes. Maybe even more, that's even better. But now what we're gonna be doing is actually taking in those silhouettes and expanding them out. So from what you've already drawn, our next step is to really keep going with it. The way it's super simple to understand. It's just continuing off on those silhouettes and getting in more detail. So at this stage, you can go back again to your mood boards and be like, oh, these are the little things that I do like. But for this activity, choose one of your silhouettes to expand upon, one that you really like, and start kind of working towards just getting the more overall shapes and ideas. If they have really fluffy clothing, keep that. Try and expand more on it. They're built like a brick house. What can you do to kind of, exaggerate that more or kind of draw attention to that? For the angelic wings, if you have this really cool character with awesome wings, could you maybe kind of alter the wing design? Do you have a different silhouette that you like the look of, that you want to kind of combine and make something new? This stage is all about mixing, mashing, and exploring. So you guys basically brain farted earlier onto your page, and that's what the silhouette is. Now, it's all about choosing which designs you want to keep carrying over as a motif to show what your character is. I'd like to say that you guys should choose at least one or two things that really kind of define the character. If they have cool wings or amazing big armor and a scrawny body, have those really easy to know words and descriptive words that you can kind of like bring up to your character and expand on that. That's pretty much how you get into the design development. It's all, this step is just to be, again, quick, try new things, don't limit yourself, and again, go back to your mood board. If you found during your silhouette stage that there's like something new you want to do and explore, go back and add to it. There's no like rhyme or reason that you can't keep kind of evolving your mood board to suit what you want. So basically now, start your developing. Choose a silhouette to start on and develop them. At least get 2 to 3 different variations on that silhouette. So you're now more focused on details. If you want to start doing sketches instead of big shapes, go do that. This is your stage now to do it. And, the tip right there, ask for feedback and try to keep pushing your limits. That's definitely a good thing. And that's also a pitfall. Sometimes when you're designing something, you're just like, oh, it could be better. What if I do this? What if I do that? That's dangerous. Keep it simple and keep a clear idea of your character. But definitely push yourselves to be creative. And so you guys have now around 10 to 20 minutes, however long you desire. Just at least get those 3 different variations of one silhouette. And yeah, your time starts now. Come back later, pause the video, and yeah. All right, so now you probably unpause the video and come back, and hopefully you have at least 2 to 3 different variations of a silhouette that you have chosen to do. So now, the next step, which we won't be able to do today, unfortunately, is polishing, or actually digital painting. So within this step, it's literally getting your character out there from your final design and put it into a pose, render it with some nice lighting, give it some nice materials and textures, and really try to run it home with a story. So you'd probably have to start doing the backgrounds and all that other juicy things. But as I said earlier in the video or the lecture, we can't cover this in one whole workshop because there are a lot of different kind of areas that you need to start working upon when you're doing kind of the painting and polishing phase. And yeah, I personally for me, I'm very inexperienced at it. So if I were to try and get a workshop, I'll ask Daniel, who can probably help me out with this regard. But yeah, pretty much that's it. So for a quick summary of what we've done so far for today, I've definitely taken you over for the kind of concept and process of how you should be doing your character development. And this is something that Daniel says is very industry standard. Of course, you'll have hundreds, or not really hundreds, but like 10s to 20s different kind of designs for each character you have. And you'll be able to actually put these into like a portfolio and go up to a workplace being like, hey, this is what I have. So always start off with mood boarding, or just generally writing up a good cool character background, understanding who your character is, expanding it then into images and references in your mood board. Then you start going into your silhouette sketches where it's just a kind of quick ideation tips of what your character is. Like really think of the big pictures, do it really quick. This is your cheap and affordable stage where you can do hundreds different silhouettes depending on how detailed you want them. After your silhouettes, you start working on to developing and designing them. That's really trying to take apart different parts of your silhouettes that you had and expanding on that. So you had a cool jacket, you make it cooler, cool wings, spice it up. And that's really how you mix and match to get the final process that you want. And it's really important to have this process to actually show, is that especially when you're in kind of that area and you want to show workplace that, hey, I'm not just the person that is just kind of, able to just have the final results. It's good to show as well in your portfolio that the process that you can go from A to B in a direct line and actually show people and tell people is the most important part, sometimes even more important than the actual final result. So that wraps it up for basically today's kind of little small lecture. And yeah, thank you for listening and have a good day.